The exploration vessel Endurance drifted silently through the darkness of space. It was the year 2157, and humanity had finally ventured to the edge of their solar system with their newest faster-than-light technology. Captain Lisa Morgan stood on the bridge, her eyes fixed on the vast emptiness before them. She was tall with short brown hair that framed her determined face. "Final checks complete, Captain," said Communications Officer Paul Bennett. "We're ready for the jump." Lisa nodded. "Proceed, officer." The Endurance hummed as its engines powered up. This was humanity's boldest mission yet, to reach beyond their solar system and prove they were ready to join the stars. The jump was smooth. When the ship stabilized, the crew looked out at new stars never before seen by human eyes. But they weren't alone. "Captain, multiple objects detected," called out sensor specialist Heather Grant, her voice tight with surprise. They're ships. Hundreds of them." Lisa's heart raced, but her voice remained calm. "First contact protocol. Open all communication channels." The screen in front of them flickered to life, revealing a being unlike anything they had seen before. It had smooth blue skin, large eyes, and spoke through what seemed to be a translator. "This is Ambassador Zexthal of the Galactic Concordat. Your presence here is unauthorized. Identify yourselves." Lisa stepped forward. "I am Captain Lisa Morgan of the Earth vessel Endurance *. We come in peace, seeking friendship and knowledge." The alien's eyes narrowed. "Earth, we have observed your kind. You are primitive, violent. Your species is not ready for galactic citizenship." Chief Engineer Joe Wright exchanged worried glances with Medical Officer Claire Daniels. This wasn't how they imagined first contact would go. "We respectfully disagree," Lisa replied. "We've overcome many challenges to reach this point. We ask for a chance to prove ourselves worthy of joining your community." The alien ships began to move, surrounding the Endurance in a threatening formation. "Your kind must be contained until you evolve beyond your barbaric tendencies," said Zexthal. "We will escort you back to your planet where terms of your quarantine will be discussed." Lisa stood her ground. "We have the right to explore the stars just as any other species." Zexthal's expression hardened. "You have not earned that right." Without warning, a beam of energy shot from one of the alien vessels, striking the Endurance *. The ship rocked violently, throwing crew members to the floor. "Shields at 60%, shouted Security Chief Rick Peterson. "They're firing again." Lisa gripped her command chair. "Return fire. Target their weapon systems only." The Endurance fought back, but they were hopelessly outmatched. More hits landed, and the ship began to break apart. "Engine room to bridge." Joe Wright's voice came through the comms. "FTL drive is damaged, but still functional. We can make one jump." "Get us home, Joe," Lisa ordered. "We need to warn Earth." The ship shuddered as more alien weapons found their mark. Warning sirens blared throughout the vessel. "Jump in 10 seconds, Joe called out. "I can't guarantee where we'll end up." Lisa looked at her brave crew. "It's a risk we have to take." The stars outside blurred as the Endurance made its desperate jump. When they emerged, they were back in their solar system, but the ship was barely holding together. "Send out a distress signal," Lisa commanded. "Tell them everything. The Galactic Concordat, their threats, their technology. Earth needs to prepare." As rescue vessels approached the badly damaged Endurance Lisa looked at the faces of her surviving crew. They had gone looking for new friends among the stars. Instead, they found a galactic community that saw humans as dangerous children to be locked away. "They think we're primitive," she said quietly to her officers, "but they've never seen humans when our backs are against the wall. If they want to quarantine us, they'll learn what humanity is truly capable of." The crew of the Endurance had survived to deliver their warning. Now Earth had to prepare for what was coming. The Galactic Concordat had made one critical mistake. They had underestimated humanity's resolve. 3 days after the Endurance limped back to Earth, the Galactic Concordat arrived. 7 massive ships appeared in orbit, their sleek designs unlike anything human engineers had ever created. People all over the world stopped and stared at the sky, some in fear, others in wonder. In the United Earth Government Emergency Chamber, world leaders gathered around a large table. The room buzzed with nervous energy. Captain Lisa Morgan sat beside Military Commander Frank Miller, her uniform still bearing scorch marks from the attack. "They're hailing us," said Communications Director Steve Powell, his fingers moving quickly over his console. President Natalie Winters nodded. On screen, Ambassador Zex Thull appeared before them, his blue skin shimmering under the lights of his ship. "Leaders of Earth, I come representing the 17 species of the Galactic Concordat. Your vessel trespassed into sovereign space, but we are not without mercy." Frank Miller leaned forward. "Your ships fired on our explorers without provocation." Zex Thull's large eyes blinked slowly. "Your species has been observed for decades. Your history is filled with war, environmental destruction, and cruelty to your own kind. The Concordat has rules about which species may join our community." Diplomat Olivia Rodriguez stepped forward. She was known for her calm approach to difficult situations. "Ambassador, every species has a difficult past. We have made great progress and wish to learn from more advanced civilizations." "Good intentions are not enough," Zex Thull replied. "Our terms are simple. Surrender all faster-than-light technology. Accept Concordat oversight. Remain within your solar system until your species evolves beyond its violent tendencies." A heavy silence filled the room. "And if we refuse?" President Winters asked. "Then we will enforce the quarantine by any means necessary." The alien's voice grew colder. "You have 72 Earth hours to comply." The screen went dark. Commander Miller slammed his fist on the table. "This is an invasion, plain and simple." "We need to buy time," Olivia argued. "Our ships are no match for their weapons." President Winters turned to Dr. Alan Clark, who had been quietly taking notes. With his gray beard and tired eyes, he looked older than his 50 years. "Doctor, what's the status of Project Prometheus?" Alan looked up. "It's still theoretical. We need more time." "How much time?" "A week, maybe 2, if we push the team to their limits." Frank shook his head. "We don't have 2 weeks. We barely have 3 days." Lisa Morgan, who had been silent until now, spoke up. "The Concordat doesn't know our true capabilities. We should use that to our advantage." Outside the chamber, news of the ultimatum spread across the planet. In cities, people looked to the sky with fear. Some packed their belongings and headed to remote areas. Others joined impromptu military recruitment lines. In his laboratory beneath the Rocky Mountains, Dr. Clark addressed his team of scientists. "I know what I'm asking is nearly impossible," he told them, "but Project Prometheus is now our planet's best hope." Young physicist Emma Wilson raised her hand. "The energy requirements are beyond anything we've ever generated." "I know," Alan nodded, "but we've run out of options." As the scientists worked, Commander Miller prepared Earth's defenses. Ships were positioned, weapons loaded, and pilots briefed. Everyone knew they were outmatched, but no one spoke of surrender. In her diplomatic office, Olivia Rodriguez searched for any leverage they might have. She discovered records of a small faction within the Concordat that had once argued for more inclusive membership policies. "Perhaps not all of them see us as threats," she told President Winters. "If we could open a dialogue with the dissenters." The president looked out her window at the alien ships hovering above Earth. "Try everything. We have less than 70 hours now." As night fell across Earth, millions of people looked up at the stars, knowing that the next 3 days would determine humanity's future. The countdown to either submission or defiance had begun. The 72-hour deadline passed. Earth had given its answer. Humanity would not surrender. In the early hours of the morning, the Concordat ships moved into attack formation. "They're targeting military bases first," said Tactical Officer Greg Baker. The United Earth Defense Command Center buzzed with activity as officers rushed to their stations. Commander Frank Miller's face was grim, just as we expected. "All units, prepare for impact." The first wave of alien weapons hit major military installations across the globe. Beams of blue energy cut through the air, leaving destruction in their wake. The Concordat expected Earth's defenses to crumble quickly. They were wrong. Lieutenant Kate Winters sat in the cockpit of her fighter jet. She was part of Earth's first response team, hidden in underground bases that the aliens hadn't detected. "Eagle Squadron, on my mark," she said into her comm. "Remember the plan. Hit and run only." 17 fighters burst from concealed mountain hangars, shooting straight up toward the attacking alien ships. The Concordat vessels, focused on their bombardment, didn't notice the small human craft until they were already firing. Kate aimed at what looked like sensor arrays on the nearest alien ship. "Concentrate fire on the blue glowing sections." The human fighters were small and less advanced, but they were fast, and their pilots flew with desperate courage. Missile after missile struck the weak points they had identified from the Endurance scans. One of the Concordat ships shuddered as its shields flickered. "It's working," shouted Kate's wingman, Pete Garcia. "Their defense grid is failing." In the Defense Command Center, Commander Miller watched the battle unfold. "Launch the second wave," he ordered. "All underground silos. Fire EMPs now." Across Earth, hidden missile silos opened. The electromagnetic pulse weapons weren't designed to destroy the alien ships, but to disrupt their communications and targeting systems. In his laboratory, Dr. Clark worked frantically on Project Prometheus. His team had made unexpected progress, but they weren't ready yet. "The molecular bonds are still unstable," said Emma Wilson, pointing to her calculations. "If we deploy it now, it could collapse." Alan pushed his glasses up. "We need more time. Get me a direct line to Commander Miller." On the battlefield, Kate Winters and her squadron continued their hit-and-run attacks. They had damaged 3 alien vessels, but 2 of her pilots had already been lost. "We can't keep this up forever," Pete said, his voice strained. Kate watched as another fighter exploded beside her. "We don't need forever. We just need to buy enough time." In the diplomatic quarter, Olivia Rodriguez had made contact with an alien named Krell Vaughn, believed to be part of the Concordat's dissenting faction. "Your resistance is surprising," the alien admitted over a secured channel. "Many thought your kind would surrender immediately." "Then you don't understand humans," Olivia replied. "We will fight for our freedom, no matter the odds." Krell Vaughn was silent for a moment. "Some of us question this action against Earth, but the Concordat's decision was nearly unanimous." "Help us," Olivia pleaded. "There must be a way to end this without more bloodshed." "I cannot openly oppose the Concordat," Krell Vaughn said, "but I will observe and report the truth of what happens here." The battle raged into the night. Human forces had managed to damage several alien ships, but Earth's major cities were now under direct attack. The Concordat was surprised by the strength of human resistance, but remained confident in their superior technology. In a secure bunker, President Winters received an update from Dr. Clark. "Project Prometheus is almost ready," he said. "But what we've created, it's not what anyone expected." "What is it, Doctor?" the President asked. Alan Clark took a deep breath. "Not a weapon to destroy them. Something far more surprising." A week had passed since the first attack. The Concordat now blockaded Earth, cutting off satellite communications and preventing ships from leaving orbit. Major cities lay in ruins, but humanity refused to give up. In a small town that had once been a farming community, engineer Sam Martinez worked inside an old barn. Around him, broken electronics and salvaged alien tech covered every surface. "This might actually work," he muttered, connecting wires to a device no bigger than a shoebox. His friend, Judy Mills, looked up from her own project. "The signal booster." Sam nodded. If I'm right, this will break through their jamming field. We can restore global communications. Across the country in underground bunkers, military bases, and hidden facilities, people like Sam worked with whatever they had. Ordinary items became weapons. Tractors were converted to carry makeshift missiles. Old radios were rewired to track alien movements. In New Geneva, Olivia Rodriguez continued secret talks with Krell Vaughn. "Your people are strange," the alien said. "We destroy your military bases, yet fighting continues everywhere." Olivia smiled slightly. "That's because our military isn't our only strength. Every human is fighting in their own way." Krell Vaughn's large eyes blinked. "The Concordat believes resistance will fade as supplies run low." "They're wrong," she answered. "Hardship only makes humans more determined." In the skies, Lieutenant Kate Winters and what remained of her squadron had adopted guerrilla tactics. They struck Concordat supply ships, then disappeared into cloud cover, or flew dangerously close to the ground where alien sensors struggled to track them. "Did you see that?" Pete Garcia laughed after they destroyed an alien fuel transport. "They never saw us coming." Kate didn't share his joy. "We lost Ben today. That's 3 this week." Pete's smile faded. "I know, but what choice do we have?" In his lab, now relocated to an abandoned mine shaft, Dr. Clark worked without rest. His team had shrunk from 20 to just 7 people. Equipment failures and power outages slowed their progress, but they pushed forward. Emma Wilson handed him a cup of coffee. "The latest test results are good." The field held stable for almost 2 minutes. Alain rubbed his tired eyes. "We need it to last longer. Much longer." "The power requirements are enormous," Emma said. "We don't have enough generators." Alain stared at his equations. "Then we need to think differently. What if we use their own energy against them?" Commander Miller arrived at the lab later that day. His uniform was dirty, his face lined with new wrinkles. "The President is asking for updates," he said. "The Concordat has started landing ground troops." Alain showed him their progress. Project Prometheus isn't a traditional weapon. It's a shield that can absorb and redirect energy. Frank looked skeptical. "A shield won't win this war." "This one might," Emma said. "It doesn't just block their attacks. It sends them back, amplified." In a rural area untouched by the fighting, civilian militia leader Diane Foster trained neighbors to resist the alien ground forces. She had been a school teacher before the invasion. "They rely too much on their technology," she told the group of farmers and shop owners. "They don't expect us to fight house by house, street by street." An older man raised his hand. "We're just regular folks. How can we fight aliens?" Diane picked up a homemade trap. "They may have advanced weapons, but they still need to walk on our soil. They need to breathe our air. Every advantage they have, we turn into a weakness." As night fell, Sam Martinez finally activated his communication device. The small antenna glowed, pushing through the alien jamming signals. All across Earth, radios crackled to life. For the first time in days, humans could coordinate their resistance globally. "This is just the beginning," Sam told Judy as they listened to voices from around the world. "Humans are most dangerous when you back us into a corner." 2 weeks into the invasion, the Concordat began landing large numbers of ground troops. They expected to find broken cities and defeated humans. Instead, they found a planet that fought back at every step. In what was once downtown Chicago, alien soldiers moved cautiously through empty streets. Their commander, General Vaxtor, had conquered 3 other worlds. He expected this one to be no different. "Building ahead clear," reported one of his scouts. "No human life signs." Vaxtor signaled his troops forward. Suddenly, the ground beneath them collapsed. 5 soldiers fell into a pit filled with water and live electrical wires. "Ambush," he shouted, but it was too late. From windows and rooftops, humans appeared with weapons made from everyday items. Some fired traditional guns. Others used pressurized water to short out alien tech suits. Leading the attack was Diane Foster. Her militia group had traveled north when they heard aliens were landing in major cities. Keep them separated, she called to her fighters. They rely on group tactics. The aliens retreated, surprised by the organized resistance. Later, in their base camp, General Vaxtor addressed his officers. These humans are not like other species we've encountered. They don't surrender when their military falls. Every one of them fights. In the diplomatic safe house, Olivia Rodriguez had convinced Krell Vaughn to see human culture firsthand. They walked carefully through a small town that had been mostly spared from the fighting. I must wear this disguise, Krell Vaughn said, wrapped in a large coat despite the warm weather. If my people discover I'm here, I would be executed for treason. I understand the risk you're taking, Olivia replied. But you need to see who we really are. They passed a damaged school building. Inside, a group of children sat in a circle, singing songs while their teacher played a guitar missing 2 strings. Krell Vaughn stopped. Why do they make music at a time like this? It's how we cope with fear, Olivia explained. We create beauty even in our darkest moments. The alien watched the children for a long time. The Concordat reports say humans are violent and primitive, yet these young ones sing while their world burns. We're complex, Olivia said, capable of both terrible destruction and wonderful creation. At the underground lab, Dr. Clark and Emma Wilson had made a breakthrough. The shield can now redirect energy at 5 times its original power, Emma explained to Commander Miller and President Winters. 1 shot from their fleet would bounce back and potentially destroy 5 of their ships. Could it protect the whole planet? The president asked. Alan shook his head. We don't have enough power. We can only shield 1 location, maybe a city or military base. Frank Miller paced the room. Then it's not enough. The Concordat would just attack elsewhere. Unless, Emma said slowly, we trick them into focusing all their firepower on 1 place. In orbit, the Concordat's Supreme Commander received troubling reports. Human resistance was stronger than expected. Ground troops faced booby traps and ambushes. Their supply ships were being picked off by the remaining human fighters. This cannot continue, he decided. Prepare the planet killer weapons. We will make an example of their largest city. Lieutenant Kate Winters intercepted this communication during a reconnaissance flight. Her jet was low on fuel and damaged from previous battles, but she pushed it to its limits to bring the news back. They're planning something big, she reported to Commander Miller. Something called planet killer weapons. Miller immediately called Dr. Clark. How soon can Project Prometheus be ready? 24 hours at best, Ellen replied. But we need to lure them to attack a specific location. Leave that to me, Miller said grimly. I know exactly how to push their buttons. Across Earth, humans prepared for what might be their final stand. They had surprised the aliens with their resilience, but they knew the Concordat was losing patience. The next attack would be devastating. The United Earth government gathered in their emergency bunker. Maps covered the walls showing Concordat positions and the few remaining human strongholds. Dr. Clark displayed the completed Project Prometheus device, smaller than anyone had expected, just a silver sphere about the size of a basketball. This is it, Commander Miller asked, skeptical. This tiny thing will save Earth. Ellen nodded. Size can be deceiving. Inside are millions of nanoreflectors that create a shield when activated. The shield absorbs energy weapons and sends them back with increased power. How much stronger? President Winters asked. 5 times minimum, Emma Wilson answered. Maybe more. Olivia Rodriguez studied the device. So this isn't a weapon at all. Not exactly, Alan said. It doesn't fire anything. It only redirects what's fired at us. Frank Miller frowned. That means we need the Concordat to shoot first. A lot of people could die before the shield activates. There's another problem, Alan added. The shield will surround whatever location we place this device. But we can only shield one area. The rest of the planet remains exposed. The leaders fell silent, considering the implications. We need to make them focus all their firepower on one place, Lieutenant Kate Winters said. Hit us with everything at once. And how do we do that? The president asked. Commander Miller stepped forward. By making them think we're about to launch our own super weapon. Something so threatening they'll throw everything they have at us. A bluff? Olivia asked. Frank nodded. The biggest bluff in human history. The plan took shape quickly. Earth would appear to gather its remaining military forces at a single base in the Nevada desert. False communications would suggest a devastating counterattack was being prepared. Will they believe it? President Winters worried. They will if we sell it right, Frank said. We'll move every fighter jet, tank, and soldier we can spare. Make it look like we're protecting something valuable. Dr. Clark placed the Prometheus device in a special container. Once it's activated, we can't move it without shutting down the shield. How long will the shield last? Olivia asked. That depends on how much energy it absorbs, Emma explained. The more they shoot at us, the stronger it gets. But there's a limit. If they hit us with too much at once, it could overload. In orbit, the Concordat Supreme Commander received reports of human forces converging in the Nevada desert. Our spies say they built some kind of weapon, his lieutenant reported. Something that could threaten our entire fleet. Impossible, the Supreme Commander said. Their technology is too primitive. The humans have shown unexpected resourcefulness. The lieutenant reminded him. Our ground forces continue to face heavy resistance. The Supreme Commander studied the images of human military units gathering in the desert. Perhaps it's time to end this. Bring all vessels into position. We will use the planet killers on this location and crush their last hope. On Earth, final preparations were underway. The Nevada base buzzed with activity as military units arrived hourly. News had spread about Project Prometheus, though few knew its true nature. Alan Clark, Emma Wilson, and a small team installed the device in an underground chamber. Once activated, the shield will expand to cover about 10 miles in every direction, Alan explained. Commander Miller looked at the surrounding desert. We've evacuated all civilians. Everyone here knows the risks. Lieutenant Winters prepared her remaining pilots. Our job is to keep their smaller ships busy. Draw their fire until they bring in the big guns. In her quarters, Olivia Rodriguez received a message from Krelvon. The Concordat is mobilizing their entire fleet. Whatever you're planning, they're taking the bait. President Winters addressed the troops one last time via video link from her secure location. What happens tomorrow will decide the future of our species. The Concordat believes we are primitive and doomed to fail. Tomorrow, they will learn what humans are truly capable of. As night fell, thousands of soldiers looked up at the stars, knowing the alien fleet was gathering. Project Prometheus waited silently beneath the desert floor, humanity's last, best hope. Dawn broke over the Nevada desert. The sky was clear blue, then suddenly filled with Concordat ships. Hundreds of alien vessels moved into position, their hulls gleaming in the morning sun. In the underground command center, Commander Miller watched them on the screens. They brought everything, just as we hoped. Lieutenant Kate Winters and her pilots climbed into their jets. Good hunting, she told them. Remember, our job is to keep their fighters busy. Buy time for Prometheus. Dr. Clark and Emma Wilson made final adjustments to the device. Its silver surface now pulsed with a soft blue light. Power level stable, Emma reported. Shield ready to activate on your command. Above them, the Concordat Supreme Commander addressed his fleet. Today we end this pointless resistance. Scan for their weapon signature and destroy it before it can be used against us. The first wave of alien fighters descended toward Earth. Kate and her squadron met them head-on. Human jets, far less advanced, used the desert terrain to their advantage, flying low between canyons and hills. They're scanning for energy signatures, Kate warned over the radio. Keep them distracted. In the command center, alarms blared. They've located Prometheus, a technician shouted. They're targeting this facility. Commander Miller nodded grimly. Right on schedule. Prepare for impact. Dr. Clark's hand hovered over the activation switch. If we activate too early, they might change tactics. Too late, and we're all dead. The Concordat ships positioned themselves in a precise formation. Green energy began to build at the front of each vessel. Planet killer weapons charging, reported a sensor operator. Estimated time to firing, 30 seconds. President Winters watched from her remote location. Dr. Clark, it's your call. You know the device best. Alan took a deep breath. Wait for it. Wait for it. The alien energy weapons reached full power. Bright green light filled the sky. Fire, ordered the Concordat Supreme Commander. Beams from hundreds of ships converged, all aimed at the human base. Now, shouted Alan, pressing the activation switch. For a moment, nothing seemed to happen. Then a transparent blue dome appeared over the base, expanding quickly to cover 10 miles in every direction. The alien weapon fire struck the shield and stopped. Shield holding, Emma reported, her voice tense. Energy absorption at 60% capacity and rising. Outside, Kate Winters and her pilots watched in amazement as the green beams seemed to be absorbed into the blue shield. Pull back, she ordered. Everyone clear the area. The shield began to glow brighter as it absorbed more and more energy. Inside the command center, the Prometheus device vibrated, its blue pulse becoming more intense. Energy levels critical, warned Emma. We're approaching maximum capacity. Commander Miller turned to Olivia Rodriguez. If we release all this energy back at them, we could destroy their entire fleet. Olivia looked troubled. That would be mass slaughter. They were ready to destroy our planet, Frank argued. And if we do the same, how are we any different? Olivia countered. The shield now glowed blindingly bright, filled with the combined energy of hundreds of alien weapons. We have to release it soon, Dr. Clark warned, or the device will overload. Miller looked at President Winters on the screen. Madam President, we need a decision. The president's face was solemn. Can we modulate the release? Target their weapons without destroying their ships? Theoretically, Emma said, typing rapidly. I can try to focus the energy return on specific systems. Do it, ordered the president. Show them our power, but also our restraint. Emma's fingers flew over the controls. Modifying energy pattern. Targeting weapon systems only. Ready. Dr. Clark pressed the release control. The shield pulsed once, twice, then shot brilliant beams of energy back toward each Concordat ship, precisely striking their weapon systems. In space, the alien fleet erupted with explosions as weapon after weapon overloaded. Ships spun out of control, their engines damaged but their crews alive. The Concordat's Supreme Commander stared in disbelief as his mighty fleet was neutralized in seconds. From the shadows of his ship, Krell Vaughn stepped forward. This is what humans truly are, he said, powerful enough to destroy us, yet choosing not to. 3 months after what became known throughout the galaxy as the event, Earth looked different. Alien technology now mixed with human buildings as reconstruction efforts continued. In orbit, Concordat ships floated peacefully alongside human vessels. In the newly built Galactic Embassy in Geneva, Olivia Rodriguez prepared for the most important meeting of her life. Around her sat representatives from Earth's nations. The Concordat Council is ready to see you, an aide announced. Olivia straightened her jacket and led the human delegation into the grand chamber. 17 alien species sat in a semicircle, each different in appearance but united in their attention to the humans. At the center sat the new Concordat Supreme Leader, Krell Vaughn. After the defeat of the invasion fleet, the old leadership had been removed. Krell Vaughn, who had witnessed humanity's true nature firsthand, was chosen as their replacement. Ambassador Rodriguez, Krell Vaughn said, his voice carrying through the chamber. Today we formalize what many thought impossible: humanity's full membership in the Galactic Concordat. Olivia stepped forward. We thank you for this opportunity. Earth is ready to join the galactic community as equals. A tall, insect-like alien raised an appendage. Let the record show that we oppose the attack on Earth. The decision to quarantine humanity was always controversial. Yet it led to the event, said another alien with smooth green skin. In all our history, no species has defeated a Concordat fleet, and no species has shown such mercy and victory. Krell Vaughn nodded. The event has changed us all. Humanity has taught the Concordat an important lesson, that technological advancement is not the only measure of a civilization's worth. In a laboratory nearby, Dr. Alan Clark and Emma Wilson demonstrated Prometheus technology to scientists from a dozen worlds. The shield works by creating a crystalline energy matrix, Alan explained. It can absorb, store, and redirect almost any form of energy. An alien scientist with 4 arms examined the device. This would have taken our species centuries to develop. How did you create it under such pressure? Emma smiled. Necessity. When failure means extinction, humans become very creative. Across the ocean in a military academy, Lieutenant Kate Winters, now promoted to captain, addressed a class of cadets. The room contained both human and alien students. The battle for Earth taught us that sometimes victory comes not from having the best weapons, but from using what you have in unexpected ways, she said. A young alien cadet raised a tentacle. Is it true you flew a damaged fighter jet into a Concordat command ship's sensor array? Kate laughed. I had to improvise. Remember that technology can fail, but ingenuity rarely does. In orbit, the exploration vessel Endurance was ready for its second voyage. Rebuilt and improved with Concordat technology, it gleamed in the sunlight. Captain Lisa Morgan stood on the bridge, looking out at the stars that had once seemed so threatening. Course is set, Captain, said Communications Officer Paul Bennett. The Concordat escort vessels are standing by. Lisa nodded. Signal our readiness. It's time to properly introduce ourselves to the galaxy. As the Endurance prepared to depart, Commander Miller joined President Winters in her office to watch the launch. Did you ever think we'd be here? Frank asked. 3 months ago, we were facing extinction. The president smiled. Humanity has always been good at beating the odds. On screens across Earth, citizens watched as the Endurance moved away from orbit, flanked by alien ships that were now allies. Throughout the galaxy, news of the event continued to spread. Species that had never heard of humans now spoke their name with a mixture of awe and caution. Trading vessels changed course to visit Earth. Diplomatic missions were hastily arranged. The galaxy had learned an important truth. Humans might be young among the stars, but they were a force unlike any other. When cornered, they were terrifying in their resolve. When victorious, they were surprising in their mercy. Humanity had earned something rare in the cold expanse of space, both the fear and respect of the galaxy. And as Earth took its place among the stars, one thing became clear to all watching species: the universe would never be the same again.